Hey folks, so in today's lesson, we are going to be proving quads are a parallelogram. And there are 5 ways to figure that out. Now, some of these are very familiar to you. So for the first one, by the definition, look at this. Both sides are parallel, so that's by the definition. All right, we scroll down to the second one, and it says, both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Top and bottom's congruent, left and right congruent. So by opposite sides are congruent, this has to be a parallelogram. For the third example here, both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. These 2 angles are congruent, the obtuse angles, and these 2 acute angles are congruent. And these are just like your properties. And look at this, the diagonals cut each other in half. Therefore, this has to be a parallelogram. Now the last property, which wasn't a property, I have one pair of opposite sides, both parallel and congruent. So if I wanted to draw a parallelogram, all I would have to do is make that, notice I drew a horizontal line, and if I duplicate it and move it, something like this, and then I would have to connect these sides, this is going to be a parallelogram. Why? Well, I know that this piece equals this piece, and I know this piece is parallel to this piece because I made them both parallel lines. So property number 5 is kind of new. And if one pair of opposite sides are both parallel and congruent, then this has to be a parallelogram. All right, let's go down to some examples, and this will be some examples like you're going to do tonight. Well, when I look at this first figure, I can see that opposite sides are congruent, so it's going to be property 2 right there. Example 2, I only have one pair of opposite sides congruent, therefore this guy is going to be none. Number 3, oh, that's that 5th property, one pair both parallel and congruent. Number 4, you should be good at that because the diagonals are bisecting each other, and that'll be property 4 right there. Number 5, both pairs of opposite angles are congruent, so that'll be this guy. And number 6, parallel, parallel, that's the definition. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Great. So if we look at your homework for today, I've written up your ways to prove a quad is a parallelogram. We have our 5 ways, and then we also have a none. So what I'd like you to do is this page here. This is handwritten page 19. And, gee, it looks like both of these are the exact same problem. That's interesting. And then I'd like to also, for you guys to do down in here. So all of page 19, we know these are equal and these have to be equal. So you got a little bit of distributing to do, set them equal to each other. And again, we're assuming these figures are parallelograms, so we know these 2 opposite sides have to be equal, these 2 opposite sides have to be equal, these 2 opposite sides have to be equal, these opposite sides are equal, these opposite angles have to be equal, and it looks like these opposite sides are going to be equal. I would guess we're going to get a decimal answer here just by looking at it. So there's your homework, folks. Have a great day.